Maraming salamat. Correction ka agad. I'm not the sister, I'm the brother. But that is all right because Miriam is tougher than anybody in this room. So, pahit na ako niyan. I mentioned that because in EDSA 2, there was a group of officers who were deciding what to do with the present situation. We were veterans of EDSA 1 and EDSA 2. In EDSA 2, I was the last to go up on stage because I was talking with Miriam and asking her on what was the correct thing to do. And of course, she will give me a lecture on the constitutionality of trying to depose an existing president with a new one. When I went up the stage, I was given the biggest applause because I was introduced, I think, by Secretary De Villa as the brother of Miriam. So I got the biggest applause because EDSA 2 was supposed to be against ERA to be changed by Gloria. So I went up the stage, inakap ako ng mga babae doon, and I felt uncomfortable because the ladies were very good looking and they smelled very good. Ay magaling sa Corinthian, mababango, mamahalin yung mga pabango nun eh. Different from EDSA 1, when we crossed the EDSA, from Camp Aguinaldo to Camp Crame, ang sumalubong sa amin, mga artista. Pero mga 3 taon na hindi, 3 gabi na hindi yata naligo, nakaka-standby. Eh, medyo masama na yung amoy ko. Kaya lamang kami doon sa EDSA 2. When I went up the stage, I was introduced by the MC as the brother of Senator Miriam. So I got a very big applause. And one very beautiful lady came up to me and said, "General, we are very happy you are here. We are very proud of you. Congratulations, General Santiago." Andito si Tagoy. "Congratulations, General Santiago," sabi sa akin. Sabi ko, "Thank you, ma'am. But excuse me, I'm not General Santiago." O sabi niya, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Colonel Santiago." Kaya siguro, okay yun dahil sa bata ang tingin sa akin. And we were able to push through with EDSA 2. But I would like to, first of all, congratulate the organizers of this rally. I'm a veteran of many rallies of my sister, and I cannot come out on the stage ngayon lang kasi I was in the active service. And when I listened to you, I was listening to her army. But her army were not military men. We had 6 generals in her lineup, all females led by General Abbott. But it was very difficult because she was up against heavyweights of the political world. She was up against a real leader of the political parties here. She was up against Tanding Cojuangco. She was up against Imelda Marcos. She was up against Speaker Mitra. She was up against, kalimutan ko na si General Ramos. She was up against 6 heavyweights of the political scene. And that was the reason she ran, because she said, "This is the only chance we have. The votes will be split. And I know I will get the youth and the poor people of this country." And sure enough, when the votes came in, she led in all the voting. She led the first day, second day, third day, up to the 6th day of the voting. She was leading, and she won in Metro Manila, and she won in all the bases of the military camps in the Philippines. We have a copy of the votes of all the military camps, and she won. She was number 1, number 2 was Nanding Cojuangco, number 3 was Imelda Marcos. In some votes, there was one vote in one precinct in Fort Bonifacio where the number 1 was Imelda Marcos. And when I checked, she got all the votes. Everybody got, I think, only 2 or 3. Miriam got about 7. She had, I think, 54 votes. And so I said, "Will you check that precinct, what that is?" And we found out that that precinct was composed of Special Forces soldiers, puro Ilocano. Kaya, Ariel, you are in good hands because the Ilocano spirit is like the Visayan spirit. We vote by regions. And that is perhaps the manner of how Filipinos vote. But you are on the right track because you're using the phrase, push up ba yan? Push up? Push ups ba yan? Because when you will campaign, you will need a lot of push-ups and running. As a matter of fact, kailangan matibay ang kamay mo because you will be clapping your hands. You will be lending out your hand. It will be reached out by the audience and they will grab it and hold tight to it. So much so that if you are the main candidate, mabubugbog yung kamay mo sa kamusta. But then, you will find that an audience like what we have here is the audience that will inspire you. And that is the reason why I am impressed with your appearance here, and I congratulate the organizers of this group for coming up with audience like this. Because it is a solidity that is shown by many officers, including those from the PMA and veterans of the 100 Night Show. I talked to Gabriel Liwag, sabi ko, bakit ang galing mo? Sabi niya, sir, ako ang chairman ng 100 Night Show sa PMA. Ito bagay na bagay ang gago. Because politics and entertainment are the same. Pareho ang audience mo, pareho ang appeal. So that is where you have to work on this. But today, I do not want to make this long. Last night, nag-usap na kami ni our sure Senator, ni Ariel. We exchanged notes in the fighting in Mindanao. And I said, I did not know you were so impressive in your fights in Mindanao. Because I said, we were together when we were attacking Camp Sarmiento and Camp Abubakar, you were in Kauswagan. And we were both successful because we performed our missions well. But lamang ako sa iyo because in our fight, it was the first time I used lady pilots against the rebels. No country in the world, including Israel, were using female as their pilots to bomb and hit the target. And so that enraged the commander of the MNLF, and he said, General, mayabang ka. Ginagamitan mo kaming mga babae. Hindi mo ba alam na sa religion namin, bawal yung babae to be used in combat? Sabi niya, you know what we'll do? We will capture one of your lady pilots, torture her, and show her, tie her to a tree, and you will suffer. So I said, get that reporter, I want to talk to him. And so I went in the air and I said, Commander, you cannot capture my lady pilots. In the first place, you will not be able to identify my male and female pilots. Because my male pilots are as beautiful as my female pilots. But they do not talk like females. So, nakalusot kami doon, we were successful, and that was the exchange of notes, and that's why I am here, because I know what Ariel went through. We were in the same area, and we were practically binabad kami sa mga ganong areas because there was nobody else to be sent to those areas. So, I compared it to the campaign that we had. But since there are many cavaliers here, I would just like to share to you a speech which Miriam, my sister, made when she went to the PMA. And I think I have to use that speech because you can gather more crowds, you can get more votes than I can ever have in my life. So, with your indulgence, this is just a short one. I took excerpts of her speech when she was at the PMA. It goes like this. No person can fail to experience the thrill of looking out over the long gray line as I do today. For I address you not only as a society of students, not only as a fraternity of honorable young men, but also soldiers and gentlemen of the Cadet Corps. A secret circle of the best and the brightest in the culture of the military, with its awful threefold tradition of courage, integrity, and loyalty. I first came to this hall as a law student, accompanied by my parents. We came to visit my brother, who had just received his appointment as a cadet, the very first on both sides of our expansive and justifiable proud family. He graduated with PMA Class 69 one of only 3 Saber awardees, awardee of the Athletic Saber and editor of the Core magazine. Editor of the Core magazine. I'd like to emphasize that because there are many members of the media here. I became editor because I was asked only one question by the then editor of our first class group. And the question was, how are you related to Miriam? And I said, sir, she is my sister. And he said, never mind the exam, you are the editor. That was their reputation before. And she became editor also of the Core magazine of the farm issue. I have risen to power in our own government, only to be humiliated by its power games. I was removed at the start of this year during a cabinet revamp. And for a time, I've limped back home from the political wars, a victim gently nursing a wounded heart. That is why I accept your invitation, for it comes after I made my own inglorious exit through the 51 steps of the bloodthirsty battlefield we call politics. The vow of loyalty means, in our time, that the Corps of Cadets and alumni of the Academy cannot lend themselves to any enterprise that seeks to reform our society through a medium other than the Constitution. For this document is the magic sword of our people, Excalibur, the weapon that stays the enemy, but yet keeps intact the ethical values that we hold dear. Constitutionalism is the mystic challenge, mystic chalice that all young Galaadans must seek, for without its lambent benediction, the landscape is littered with skulls and bones, and the profession of arms degenerates into nothing but a structured lust for power. Ironically, I was removed from government on suspicion that I was allegedly a sympathizer of the military rebels. My enemies designed a scenario of disloyalty based on the circumstance that when, as Commissioner of Immigration, I ordered the arrest and deportation of alien criminal syndicates, and my orders were implemented by my military assistants, who were all graduates of the PMA. But I was never disloyal, and I'm proud even now we work together against corruption and criminality. You'll know that in her campaign speeches, she was attacking corruption. Instead, action was taken against me, outplayed at the points game by crafty masters of the art. The bureaucratic playing field is no longer level, for the opponents enter the game wearing the uniform of the home team. And yet society remains complacent and maintains silence where the toxins of alarm should have sounded long ago. Once upon a time, 2 cadets joyfully graduated from the PMA. They were best friends, and they went to UP in Diliman to attend my own graduation. In the manner of well-schooled young men, they were athletic and adept. They were blithe and boisterous. Then scarcely a few years later, they were went off to war to defend their country in Mindanao and other areas where they were needed. They served in many trenches but were never outfought. In the strong stony silence of their long nights in the miserable fields and fetid jungles, they wrestled in their still youthful hearts with an infant, the warmth of home, for the sinister, malevolent lair of the enemy who was born to kill. And then one day, they carried on, each getting the highest presidential award for exceptional gallantry in action. And one fell from the sky, came hurling down and crashed to earth. A handsome man, still on the wings of youth, the early morning haze of the academy still on his brow, still the scent of flower and pine around him, and on his lips that were slowly turning blue, the 3 words of pain and sorrow, but also faith and hope, his shield and his epitaph, courage, integrity, and loyalty. Gentlemen of the Corps of Cadets, with the memory of that dying soldier, whom I love as a brother, I swore to serve my country with courage as he did. That is why, although I may have fallen, I have not lost faith. We are engaged in yet another battle that afflicts our people, the most crushing, but the noblest in your career and mine. The battle to raise the fallen spirit of the Filipino. We search for a hero, we look for the magic legend that will maintain us in this saga. And there, beyond the smoke and tumult of this silent but deadly war, we see once more the spirit of brave young officers rising in the wind, bearing aloft the banner on which history has inscribed the secret of victory. Courage is the will to win. I end this phrase with a little story. Many of you here served with me in Clark Development Corporation. Chairman, President, Directors. Many of you here were with me before that big Pogo incident came out. When we were there was no such thing as Pogo because we disallowed that. They did not want us to inspect, but we broke down the doors, cleared it, and many of them are the classmates of Ariel Kirubin who were with me. With me were another Medal of Valor awardee is Art Ortiz here? I think he is here. Another was Jigs Francisco, who was our Chief of Security. When we were there, wala yung mga pogo-pogo na yan, hindi obra sa amin yun. One by one, we were removed. Nung nawala kami doon sa Clark Development Corporation, lumabas na itong mga go at saka mga pogo na yan, just beside us. And that was because I think they were no longer afraid because we will smash their buildings if we were there. That is why I support the candidacy of Ariel, and I will commit to you the strength of the People's Reform Party, the youth, which was Miriam's biggest electorate and supporters. You will like the youth because they will go with you. Kahit walang pera, kahit walang pagkain, they will campaign for you. That is the experience that we have learned. That is the experience that we will share with you. Thank you very much.